Magandang araw po sa inyo. Ako nga pala si James Lane Makasukol Hervas from Section B of Batch M49. In today's video po, I'll be discussing the topic module 5 to 8. So first on the list is materials handling and storage. Materials handling and storage is a technique which includes the art of lifting, placing, storing, or movement of materials through the use of one's physical strength or appropriate handling equipment. Materials handling has two general classifications. Those are the manual materials handling and the mechanical materials handling. Manual materials handling means moving or handling things by lifting, lowering, pushing, pulling, carrying, holding, or restraining using one's physical strength. MMH is also the most common cause of occupational fatigue, low back pain, and lower back injuries. It is riskier than one might think as it could lead sprains, wounds, fractures, and hernias. Remember to stop and think before lifting any load, and ask yourself whether there is an even safer way to do the job. What makes manual materials handling hazardous? MMH is always hazardous, but the level of hazard depends on what you are handling, what the task is, and what the conditions are at the workplace or work site. Mechanical materials handling, as the name suggests, this pertains to use of rigid, manually or mechanically powered equipment, mainly for handling bulky and heavy items. Manual powered materials handling equipment reduce physical effort, making materials handling easier and safer. That is the rolling platforms, hand truck, and etc. Mechanical powered materials handling equipment are classified into two: lifting and transport equipment. Lifting equipment includes a variety of items for lifting heavy and bulky items with minimal human intervention, such as hoists and cranes. Transport equipment, on the other hand, consists of forklifts, dump trucks, trailers, and conveyors, among others. Ropes, chain, steel, and plastics are those. Workplace layout. Workplace is the area within which you perform the tasks that add up to your job. The physical design of a workplace includes settings, the amount of space needed, and the position of furniture, tools, equipment, and any other items necessary to perform the task in respect to proper posture, access, clearance, reach, and vision of the user. Poor design of the workplace and bad arrangement of furniture or equipment may result in injuries and strains due to adoption of uncomfortable working postures. Less spare capacity to deal with unexpected events or emergencies, increased possibility of errors or accidents, and inefficiency. Material storage. Material storage could easily be neglected at times in an actual work setting. When neglected, it leads to cluttering, peeling one of the material over another, and obstruction of passageways. Understanding some general requirements on proper and safe material storage would be useful. Materials should be stored neatly and orderly. A variety of ways means could easily be adopted and maintained. First, materials should be housed in a storage room with the following features: at least 2 exits, properly illuminated, properly ventilated, restricted access. Next, materials should be stored in limited amounts. This can be accomplished by providing special storage racks of limited capacity for similar items. Examples of which are special storage racks. Next is fire safety. Having a fire in the workplace is one of the most highly preventable situations if and only if we follow all the safety regulations and use our common sense as well as our awareness in looking out for possible fire hazards. It may seem too common for some thus. We often overlook these fire safety tips. and before we know it, everything will have gone up in smoke. To prevent all this from happening, do take this module seriously for your sake as well as that of your loved ones. Fire is a chemical reaction between a flammable and combustible material and oxygen. This process converts the flammable or combustible materials and oxygen into energy. Other byproducts of fire include light, smoke, and other gases. Many of these gases, such as carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, hydrogen bromide, hydrogen cyanide, hydrogen sulfide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, etc., are toxic to humans. The fire triangle and the fire tetrahedron. The fire triangle and the pyramid of fire illustrate the elements necessary for fire to start and the methods of its extinguishment. Each site represents an essential ingredient for fire. The three elements are fuel, oxygen, and heat. When a fire starts, a fourth element, which is the chemical reaction itself, is necessary for flame propagation. The four-sided figure is called the fire tetrahedron. First is the fuel. Any material that will burn is classified as fuel. Identify examples of fuel you can find in your workplace. Next is oxygen. From our definition of fire, we need oxygen which combines with fuel while burning. Normally, the air has 21% oxygen and 78% while nitrogen. Next is heat. Completes the chemistry of fire. Even if found together, fuel and oxygen will not burn. An example is a piece of paper. This fuel is exposed to oxygen in the air but will not burn. Why? Because we need to introduce the third element, which is heat. Next is electrical safety. Electrical safety is closely related to fire safety, so we hope you do not mind hearing some things twice. Fires are often caused by electrical trouble, as we all know, although we also know that electrical trouble can also mean other things like electrocution and other such accidents. This module aims to introduce you the basic terms in electricity, occurrence mechanism of electric shock, accidents, and preventive measures for electric shock. We already know that electrical safety has to do with understanding voltage, current, and resistance. You and all the other people in the workplace must understand electrical safety in order to prevent accidents, injuries, deaths, and property damage. Unsafe practices related to electrical have adverse effects to the human body and property, and are primary causes of fire. What is electricity? Electricity is essential and considered as among the basic needs of everybody. Electricity had made our houses into homes, changed the mode of transportation from kilosas into taxis and metro rail transport systems, and improved shops to malls and factories. It is hard to imagine if we had no electricity until now. However, it is also among the common causes of occupational accidents resulting to injuries, death, and property damage. Next is machine safety. Machines. Machines make things easy and comfortable for us. They enable us to do a lot of things that we won't be able to do otherwise. They are very much a part of our lives, but we must be aware that they may also be sources of injuries and even deaths in the workplace if not used properly. Any part, function, or process involving machine may cause injuries. To eliminate the hazards posed by machines, you must have sufficient understanding of machine safety, particularly of the four major areas: adjustment and repair, servicing and maintenance, moving parts, machine guarding, and point of operation in every machine. Machine guards are classified into those that prevent access and those that prevent hazardous motion. However, machine guards alone cannot prevent injuries. There's a need to educate and train workers on machine safety. Lockout, tagout is an effective system for controlling accidents in servicing and maintenance of machines.